Gathered here today to recognize the achievements of a group of students as they stand at the threshold of adulthood. We aim to look back and celebrate their journey with deserved solemnity, as well as provide one last tearful goodbye before they rush headlong into the ever-turning gyre of the future. Although we had initially hoped to deliver a humorous, light-hearted speech, as valedictorians we have realized it is our responsibility to reflect upon our time with St. Michael's with sincerity and sobriety. As such, and much to your disappointment, no jokes will be made this morning. We shall not poke fun at Brown Hall, which is in reality an exemplary institution, nor shall we lampoon the dress code, and under absolutely no circumstances whatsoever shall we mention Mr. Snowden's socks. Instead, I would like to ask that we all share a moment of silent and somber reflection while I recite a commemorative poem I have written in honor of this event. Roses are red, violets are blue. I've only been here 1 year, but it feels like 20. Thank you. Thank you, although of course I am only making a point, as perhaps no other year has passed by so quickly for all of us. Despite being my first year at senior school, I have come to feel very close with the unique community at St. Michael's, a privilege I enjoyed 4 years ago while at middle school. It was at St. Michael's that I rediscovered the joy of learning in an environment that was at once both supportive and challenging, and when I graduated from grade 8, I left with a sense of purpose, identity, and the knowledge that nearly anything was possible with hard work and determination. St. Michael's changed my life, and it has been an honor to return this year among such an enthusiastic and dedicated faculty and staff, to whom all of us are indebted for their ceaseless work and inspiration, and to my peers who so generously and so readily accepted me as one of their own. In many ways, this year has been like coming home. In our time at SMU, our class has developed a keen sense of social justice and of philanthropy. Whether promoting awareness for juvenile diabetes, raising money for the Friends of Mengo Hospital, or recognizing the arts community with acoustic concerts and Keep the Beat, showcasing the school's musical talent while raising awareness for War Child Canada. Before you is the grad class, which has raised over $6,000 for the BC Brain Injury Fund as part of our legacy to the school, and organized the school's first campus-wide lip dub. We are a class of artists, musicians, activists, entrepreneurs, researchers, and innovators, a group with interests as diverse as our cultures and truly a world community. Representing such a varied grad class is a daunting task, but I've come to realize that my time away from the school has granted me the unique perspective to see with clarity our metamorphosis from rambunctious students into responsible, passionate adults. Nowhere is this growth more evident than with the truly staggering transformation of our very own head boy and girl. When I left the school in 8th grade, Quinn Kleiman was already an accomplished bachelor with quite the reputation. It's comforting to know that some things never change. But 4 years later, Quinn has grown into his role as head boy with tremendous bravado, from running Amnesty International to defending the school on the rugby pitch, and in between all his responsibilities, even occasionally showing up to class. And of course, Gabby, like the occasionally obnoxious but ultimately lovable house elf Dobby, has slaved tirelessly for her school, sacrificing her time and freedom to running Free the Children and to the long hours at Alibaba's Pizza. Yet she approaches each of her responsibilities with supreme dedication and never, ever complains. So it is my distinct pleasure to present our very own Dobby with this pair of brightly colored socks. Mr. Snowden, if you wouldn't mind presenting these to her after the ceremony, the gesture would be appreciated. One might hope that this year would never end, that we could postpone or evade our graduation as we occasionally do when hiding in the change rooms during chapel. But all good things must come to an end, and as we slowly disperse, drift apart, and move on, perhaps we will look back fondly on our time spent at St. Michael's, where we learned the value of individuality and thinking critically, of the complex interplay between morality and power, and above all else, compassion. Valedictorian translates eloquently from Latin to mean farewell speaker. So I shall say simply, thank you, St. Michael's, from all of us, and farewell.
Continuing on with definitions. Urban Dictionary, Urban Word of the Day on June 8th, 2005. Senioritis, noun. A crippling disease that strikes high school seniors. Symptoms include laziness, an over-excessive wearing of track pants, old athletic shirts, sweatpants, athletic shorts, and sweatshirts. Also features a lack of studying, repeated absences, and a generally dismissive attitude. Example, when you leave your backpack full of textbooks in the trunk of your car from 3 p.m. until 8 a.m. Thinking back to a now slightly hazy 4 years ago, I remember the days when a large majority of our pre-adolescent grad class thought it was sensible to stand by the infamous quad vent, clumped together like arteries, choking the veins of the school, leaving no clear passage for others to move from class to class. I'll never forget that fatal first mistake of walking across the vent in the St. Michael's kilt. Ladies, I'm sure you can agree it will haunt the best of us. It's not a mistake you make more than once. Unless you're me and have not accounted for the parachute-like tendencies of your shirt when dressed in full 80s apparel for the first school dance of your grad year. The clumping days at the vent are now long gone, and it's fair to say we have achieved a great deal in the past 4 years as a grad class. We are the grad class that was not afraid to come to Monday morning assembly in spandex that rivals the tightness of Mick Jagger's trousers, all to promote the first dance of the year. We are the grad class that staged a flash mob of Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe in the library, head boy dancing wildly on top of tables in a pink tutu and feather boa to celebrate Valentine's Day. Mr. Kleiman, your pink tutu was extracted from the top floor of the library. Please see Mr. Snowden after ceremonies to retrieve it. As well, we are the grad class that hand-shoveled 5 truckloads of snow in front of the library at midnight the day before the Christmas assembly, creating a shining beacon of welcome for guests to our man-made North Pole. We are the grad class that survived the cold sweats brought on by Naviance and the common application at 11:59 p.m. on a Sunday night. But we are also the grad class ready to make a difference in the world. Not just as students, but as compassionate individuals inspired by our teachers and our school. For a year now, we have slaved tirelessly in the library over our courses, not perhaps without the occasional musical interlude from Boris. After countless rugby games, service hours, musical rehearsals, and rowing practices in the pouring rain, it is time for us to say goodbye to our school, our friends, and for some, to our parents and our homes. There are many things we will miss about SMU. I often hear the remark that our beautiful campus looks exactly like Hogwarts, and in many ways I can see the resemblance. We have our very own Brown Hall, where the lunches are made from secret magical ingredients unknown to Muggles. The Barker Library, where the last book signed out by our grad class was The Little Mermaid in 2006, and school grounds so impeccably kept by Dog Park and crew that Hagrid himself would weep with joy. And although students do not have flying broomsticks at St. Michael's, many of us do have cars, which we use every Wednesday and Friday between 9:10 and 9:40 to satisfy that unquenchable desire for an early morning Starbucks vanilla iced latte. There's no brighter way to start the day, as Richard Primrose and Elliot Anderson would surely agree, as they wait next to you in the lineup, staring dumbfoundedly, and you stare right back. We won't tell if you don't. SMU has always encouraged strong student-teacher relationships, whether it's getting extra help after class on the math homework you didn't understand, or making slightly awkward eye contact with your period 2 teacher sitting opposite you in chapel while wondering if you had homework. These relationships are what make St. Michael's a unique school that feels more like a family than an institution. And now I'd like to take a moment to speak about one very special relationship. This year, our class has the privilege to graduate alongside one woman who has successfully kept the ship sailing for the past 7 years. Of course, we are talking about our outstanding director, Ms. Kathy Roth. Ms. Roth has served the school tirelessly, from beginnings as an English tutor to becoming a full-fledged instructor of literature and department head, and finally, our illustrious director of senior school. In this capacity, she graciously accompanied our somewhat unruly class prefects down to Seattle in September to learn about leadership, a virtue that she has exemplified in every aspect of her life for the past 7 years. As we watch our fearless leader set off down Knight Street for the last time, we wish her all the best as she rides off into the Victoria sunset on her Harley-Davidson with a triumphant roar and her blonde hair blowing in the evening breeze. Please join us as we show our appreciation for our Director of School, Kathy Roth. Although many of us are now in the throes of senioritis, with the symptom of repeated absence evident by looking at the number of unexplained absence emails in our inboxes, we can leave for the summer feeling that we have left our mark on the school and are ready to go forth. As our graduation ceremony comes to a close and we look forward to the adventures ahead, we are truly thankful for the friends we have made, the teachers who have inspired us, our families who have supported us, and our time at SMU. Good luck, jayo, buena suerte, bon chance to the grad class of 2012. And now for one last definition. Graduation, the only known cure to senioritis. Side effects include long gowns, flat square-shaped hats, diplomas, responsibility, college, and/or career. Example. After graduation, Quinn learned to pack his own lunches. Thank you, and Grad 2012, stay classy.